Hello everyone, my name is OMG WTF LOLFTW BRB. Welcome back to WWE versus Total Extreme Wrestling 2016, the series where we take the weekly events where the WWE runs, whether they be television or pay-per-views, and book them into Total Extreme Wrestling to see how well the WWE does against the game, or if TEW will be the first company to bring WWE to their knees. This time we are booking the... Oh, I'm horrible with dates. Whatever. We're booking the Monday Night Raw after the Backlash pay-per-view, so this is the build-up to the Money in the Bank now, so we do have a few things to go over before we can jump into the actual show. For one, before I forget, we are indeed in the Nassau Memorial Coliseum in the tri-state area. I think it was in New York. But what do I want to go to? I want to go to the cell phone. That's right. Okay, so storyline-wise, there are a few things new, and some that are ended, of course. I haven't gotten to SmackDown yet, so I don't know anything there yet. We have the men's and the women's Money in the Bank ladder matches, which are starting tonight. I have featured Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens, which all four of those guys... Phew! God bless me. All four of those guys are in a qualifying match of some capacity to where they'll progress the story along. And then we also have the women's Money in the Bank, which features Ember Moon and Ruby Riott, who, just like the men, are also in a qualifying match. Will continue the story. We do have a bit of a problem with both Money in the Bank ladder matches, though. In real life, WWE is hosting a 8-person, because, you know, there's females this time around as well. 8-person Money in the Bank ladder matches for both the male and female ladder matches. And that is impossible to do in Total Extreme Wrestling. There is no 8-man ladder match, let alone there is no 8 singles. Like, you cannot have an 8-way matchup. Like, there's no way to pit 8 people against each other in this game unless you're doing, like, a tag team thing or if it's, like, a battle royal or something like that. And I don't even think you can do an 8-man battle royal. You can only do, like, a 10-man battle royal. So, there's no way to really do 8-man anything in here. So, unfortunately, 2 of the people in the Money in the Bank ladder matches will be left out this year. They'll still be used in the build to the storyline. Most likely, though, they'll just be shoved into the pre-show to fight each other. And that's it. Well, so the 2 most or least popular people in the ladder matches this year who don't win will be probably taken out of it, because that's really the only way I can work around this. There's no 8-person option. So Adam Ryland, Grey Dog Studios, software, whatever the hell it's called, if you're watching this video in Total Extreme Wrestling 2019, because we all know it's going to be 2019 because it's 3 years apart, and if it's not, you're breaking the pattern. But there better be an 8-person match. I don't know why there's not an 8-person match. I should probably make a video of the things I want to see the most in the next Total Extreme Wrestling game. We need more countries like India and stuff like that, because it's become more of a highlight. We need a way to have, like, guest commentators to where, you know, you can have a 3-man booth and then have a guest color commentator like a Kevin Owens or something, and it doesn't affect them that bad because they are recognized as a guest commentator. And we need 8-people matches, because there's 8-man ladder matches all the time. Like, why restrict us? Do not restrict the amount. Maybe it will mess with the game, but if you're able to have 8 people in a match, like a tag team match, you should be able to have 8 people in a singles match. I just feel like that's how it should be. Ran over. All right. A lot of these 205 feuds I don't even think are going on. Like, for instance, Daivari and Mustafa Ali. I don't think that's a feud anymore. I'm pretty sure this is going to end this week. The Baron Corbin versus No Way Jose / Titus Worldwide feud. I'm also pretty sure this ended this week, the Elias versus Bobby Roode feud. I'm not going to quite end them just yet, but next week on Raw, if there's no real mention or, you know, if there's no real mention or progression to the storylines, I'm probably going to end them. Same thing goes with Nia Jax versus Bliss, another feud I feel like is ended, but not entirely sure. One feud that I'm almost certain was ended was Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar, but that seems like it's never going to end. But it does look like we are moving forward with Roman Reigns and Jinder Mahal, so made that a storyline. There was no progression with Ronda and Mickey and with the Money in the Bank. I'm not sure if that's going to continue, but we'll see where that goes. I'll probably keep that a little bit longer. And then I got Seth Rollins Open, which features Mojo Rawley right now because he's the one who accepted the challenge, but this will probably change week after week to keep an actual storyline progression. But this is just the whole, Seth Rollins Intercontinental Championship thing he's got. And then we still got the Woken Bray and Sasha Banks and Bayley storyline going on. Like I said, I haven't seen SmackDown, so I have no idea what's continuing and what's not. With that being said, though, we did make a profit last month, which is honestly impressive to me. But then again, this is the WWE, so I doubt we won't be seeing any profits for a little while. Or I doubt we won't be seeing any loss of profits for a little while here. Nonetheless, before we do jump in, I apologize. I still got a lot more, lot to talk about. I did make a quick update video. If you guys haven't seen that, you can go ahead and check it out. But I'm sure you guys have saw it by now that, yes, the invasion is back. We are continuing on with the invasion database that we had before. The post No Way Out Monday Night Raw has been uploaded. So we are going headstrong to that. I want to apologize real quick for the video tag or whatever you call it, video watermark. Right in the center of it, unfortunately, something was spoiled in the video that I had to cut out because I didn't want you guys to see it. And that big-ass video tag or watermark was put there in place. It's kind of like these videos, but at least this one's like in the corner where you can't really see it all that well. Whereas that one, it's like right in the center. So I do apologize for that. But yes, the invasion is back and it is running. And there was one thing I actually did want to talk about before this, but I can't really remember what it was, so it wasn't that important. So let's go ahead and run the show. Oh, I remember. It was about the pre-shows and the pay-per-views, but not really that important. Either way, we open up the night with Kurt Angle coming down. He announces that, yes, indeed, the Money in the Bank pay-per-view is happening. He announces that there's both a women's and a male's Money in the Bank. He hypes up the triple threat qualifiers we'll see later on tonight, which will see Roman Reigns take on Sami Zayn and Finn Balor, and then Sasha Banks take on Ruby Riott and Ember Moon. Ember Moon and Ruby Riott had about the same popularity since Ruby was the heel. I featured her instead of her. That doesn't make any sense. I featured Ruby instead of Ember Moon, and Sasha Banks is more popular than them, so that's why. There wasn't enough room to fit Ember Moon in this story or this angle, unfortunately, with both Braun and Kevin Owens coming out. Speaking of Braun and Kevin Owens, after Angle makes the announcements, Braun Strowman comes out. He tells a story about his past, about these kids who made a treehouse and never invited him, so he, tore the treehouse down with them inside it. Pretty dark and gruesome story that a lot of people cheered for, to be honest. He pretty much is, insinuating to Kurt that you should put me in this Money in the Bank ladder match, which leads to Kevin Owens coming out, saying that, Braun doesn't deserve to be in the ladder match. He deserves to be in the ladder match. We get a little bit of back and forth. Braun tells Owens he can get these hands, and then Kurt finally makes a match for, right now, a Money in the Bank qualifier, which will see Braun Strowman taking on Kevin Owens. So a C+ to open up the show. Got the show off to a strong start as well. Crowd was hot for it. Strowman was good, and it started out the storyline. What changes are these? Oh, it's Finn Balor. Maybe he isn't turning anymore, by the way, because there was really no signification on Raw this week, but I'll keep it running for one more week, and we'll see where it goes, I guess. Angle is improving in acting, so good on him. We then jump into our opening match of the night, which may even be our best match of the night, which is kind of bad. B- rating. Braun Strowman is not only great in real life, but he's great in this game. Good God. Decent matchup here. Braun Strowman goes over Kevin Owens in 11 minutes 43 seconds with the reverse choke slam. I believe he actually used a running power slam in real life, but details. Why is my new thing not working? I put in the Snopes grades. I think it's even using it. Maybe I got to change it to numbers, I think, for it to show it, but interesting. It should be showing the numbers. I thought I put it in there. Nonetheless, though, we had the I already read that. Crowd was hot for this match. Kevin Owens got a solid C, whereas Braun Strowman got a B-, so good on Braun. And gained heat for the Money in the Bank ladder match feud. We jump into a C+ rated segment here, which hypes up our triple threat match. We'll see this many times of the night. The one featuring Reigns, Balor, and Sami Zayn. We then jump into a solid C, where Mike Rome is interviewing Roman Reigns on the upcoming triple threat match of the night. Roman pretty much talks about how he has a lot on his mind. Of course, he still considers himself the uncrowned Universal Champion, all that stuff, and how he's going to win tonight and go on to win the Money in the Bank. Typical Roman Reigns promo. Solid C, though. Not too bad, especially with Mike Rome being there. I believe he was not rated, though. C- rating. This, okay. This did a lot better than you would expect, but there's a lot of random little... What the hell? First off, why are all of you improvising? I don't let people improvise. I mean, I'm happy that all three of you guys did well on improvising, but what is this? I don't remember doing that. Nonetheless, throughout the night, there's these random promos where a female and then a tag team, oddly, would interview about the Money in the Bank and promise how they're going to win. There have been rumors going around that there's going to be a third Money in the Bank ladder match which will feature tag teams. I think that's the stupidest thing ever, but this kind of makes me think that's what they're going with. They're having tag teams cut promos on it, but I still don't know why Bayley and Fandango or not Fandango, Breezango, the whole team, were not scripted, but whatever. C- as Bayley and Breezango put over that they won in the Money in the Bank ladder matches this year. D+ rated for our next segment, as we have Kurt Angle backstage, and he's joined by Goldust, who is also expressing how he wants to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. They are interrupted by Jinder Mahal, who just expects to be put in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Kurt Angle, points out to him that, you haven't won anything since you've been here, and all that stuff. And he tells Jinder that he's going to have to impress him in his match against, Chad Gable, who, beat him a couple weeks back, and so on and so forth. So Kurt tells him to impress him, and we're going to get Jinder versus Chad Gable tonight as well, while Goldust is also just there. I don't think Goldust is getting in the ladder match, by the way, guys. Before we can get to that match between Jinder Mahal and Chad Gable, though, we have a 6-man tag team action here, as No Way Jose and Titus Worldwide take on Baron Corbin and the Revival. Not really sure why Baron Corbin's teaming him with the Revival. I don't remember if there's anything really shown that, hey, look, we're partners or something, but I guess because of their serious tag team, that's who they chose. Solid D for the 6-man tag team matchup here. Terrible wrestling and non-existent crowd heat. Baron Corbin and the Revival go over No Way Jose and Titus Worldwide in 6 minutes 22 seconds after Baron Corbin defeats No Way Jose with the End of Days. Corbin was head and shoulders above everybody else. No Way Jose was off his game. Titus O'Neil still not suited to his gimmick. Scott Dawson was really off his game. Apollo Crews with a D-, Titus O'Neil with a D-, No Way Jose with an E+, Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson both with D-, and Baron Corbin with a D+. So he wasn't like the best, like head and shoulders. Like, calm down, okay? O'Neil is improving in performance as well. We jump into a D- rated segment as we hype up the first females Money in the Bank women qualifier, which will feature Sasha Banks, Ember Moon, and Ruby Riott. I think this is just Sasha Banks' heel turn, right? Yeah. Close that. Not yet. All right, and we jump into the triple threat match, which doesn't too bad actually. D+ rated segment or match here, as we get a terrible matchup here with Ember Moon going over Sasha Banks and Ruby Riott in 11 minutes 42 seconds, when Ember Moon defeats Ruby Riott and Sasha Banks in a way with an impressive eclipse. Sasha, what was it? They pretty much had each other. I don't know if Sasha had a submission hold or something in, but it was set up to the point where when Ember Moon hit the eclipse, that Sasha Banks pretty much cracked her jaw on top of Ruby's head, while, Ruby got the full brunt of it, and then Ember pins Ruby Riott for the win. So, really good stuff there. A lot of interference in this matchup as well. Sarah Logan and Liv Morgan, they, at one point, it looks like Sasha Banks is going to beat Ruby Riott, so they come in there and, cost her the match pretty much, which leads to Bayley coming out and fighting off the Riott Squad, which is why I have Ruby Riott being distracted, because, well, she's not getting hit, but the Riott Squad is getting hit, so I figured that's the way to work around that. Liv Morgan did some good work ringside. Ember Moon was really off her game, so that's unfortunate. Sasha Banks had a D+ in-ring performance, Ruby Riott with a D-, and Ember Moon with an E+. So it gained heat to the Sasha Bayley feud, and the Women's Bank Money in the Bank storyline started. As for worker improvements, there were none. Alright, moving on from this, we get a solid C segment this time as we hype up the triple threat match. Oh, and also hyping up the fact that Bobby Lashley's got an interview next. And no. Before we can get to that interview, though, we got to get Ember Moon's reaction to entering the Money in the Bank ladder match. She cuts a pretty cringy promo here, pretty much saying that the moon's the limit or something and how she's going to win. Why does it sound like Ember Moon is out of breath whenever she cuts a promo? Like, I understand maybe she just had a match, so she could have legitimately been out of breath. But it really seems like, even when she was in NXT, every time she cuts a promo, she's always like, and this time? I'm like, it's pretty annoying, but whatever. Mike is not her strong suit, so she really shouldn't focus on it. But nonetheless, she cuts a brief little promo on her excitement and how she's going to win the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match this year. D+, though. Not too bad either for that promo. C+ for the Bobby Lashley video package, pretty much highlighting his life. Interesting thing here in this video package. I remember reading a little, I think it was Dave Meltzer, who I can't stand, but I think I read somewhere where him saying that, WWE can't really acknowledge Bobby Lashley's previous stint in the WWE because of, Donald Trump, because, Lashley is so associated with Trump because of the whole WrestleMania 23 thing. But no, this video package, I think, disproves that, because not only do they talk about, his past and, the military and all that, it's actually a very well done video package. WWE really should do more of this stuff because it really gets their people over, I feel. But it also talked about his time in the WWE. It highlighted his ECW title win, his United States Championship title win. It even highlighted his headlining WrestleMania 23. Now, guaranteed it didn't show him shaving Vince McMahon's head or with Donald Trump, but it even acknowledged it. So it acknowledged his previous run, and it even acknowledged his Bellator run. So great video package for Bobby Lashley here as they hype him up. C+ rating here. This, on the other hand, D+ rating for the sit-down interview with Renee Young, as Renee Young asks Bobby Lashley about his family, and Lashley tells us about his sisters and how he loves them and stuff. Very weird interview here. Like, your sisters, though? Like, that's the thing you want to talk about? Like, I know Bobby Lashley's got a family of his own. He's got a son. He's got a wife. Like, why didn't you talk about them? It was all about his sisters. His, stories about his sisters in the past. Like, each and every single one of them. I don't know. This didn't work for me. This kind of... It started off like, okay, this is kind of sweet. Like, he's talking about his family, and then it's just like, okay, are you going to move on to a new subject? No, we're just going to talk about his sisters, and that's the end of the subject, the interview. Like, if maybe the interview would have gone a little longer, they talked about more things, I would have been fine with the whole sister thing. But it was straight up just the whole thing was him telling stories about him and his sisters in the past. And then he, before the interview's over, he says, hey, I'd just like to say that I love my sisters or something. Very, very dumb. D+ rated for this interview segment here. We then jump backstage to a C+ rated segment as Sami Zayn is backstage with Kevin Owens, who, recently lost to Braun Strowman. And Sami tells him that, one of us need to be in this Money in the Bank ladder match. And I've got a triple threat match, pretty much saying that there's no DQ, or do you have my back? And then Kevin's like, yeah. And Zayn goes, don't you mean yup? Or yep. And Kevin Owens just pretty much, turns him down and goes, no, I meant yeah. And that's that. Interesting thing here is, though, in the main event, maybe a bit of a spoiler, but Kevin Owens didn't come out. He didn't come out one time, so it makes me wonder if I should start a feud between these two, to be completely honest, and see where that goes. In fact, I might do that, but because it looks like that might be where they're leading to that. Maybe a Kevin Owens face turn. Nonetheless, though, Sami Zayn asking Kevin's for help, and he says he will, but he doesn't. C+ rated for that. As we move on to our next segment. There we go. Solid D for Sunil Singh introducing the modern-day Maharaja, Jinder Mahal, before his match with Chad Gable. And then before we can get into the match, we get a look back at the feud between Jinder Mahal and Chad, which saw Chad beat Jinder Mahal a few weeks back in a matchup. The match, never mind. Before we can get into the match, we have our pointless commercial break, which gets an A-star rating here. Thank you, John Cena. All right. And then we can jump into the matchup itself, which gets a D+ rating here. Subpar wrestling and little heat to it. Jinder Mahal goes over Chad Gable in 6 minutes 3 seconds with the Colossus. Sunil Singh did some good work ringside. Both Jinder and Chad with solid D in ring performances. And after the match, D plus for the back or post match beatdown. Sunil Singh was kind of, I guess, talking trash to Chad Gable, which led him to him pushing him down. And then this led to Jinder Mahal just beating down on Chad and asserting his dominance, like as the modern day Maharaja that he is. So there you go. We didn't get another one of those Money in the Bank hype interview things, whereas Alexa Bliss and the Ascension both put over the fact how they're going to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match this year. So there you have that. What is this? Oh, yeah, the Ascension, who may be turning heel. I don't know. We then get yet more hype for our triple threat main event between Reigns, Zayn, and Finn Balor. No. C- rating this time around, as we have Kurt Angle backstage with Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder, of course, trying to weasel his way into the Money in the Bank as well. Once again, interrupted by Jinder Mahal, who tells, Kurt, I bet that impressed you, huh? Now you should add me into that triple threat match later on tonight. Or, make it a fatal four-way. Better yet, Roman Reigns doesn't even deserve the spot. Why don't you give it to me? And Kurt... Oh, boy, Kurt. Kurt does this whole thing. How about, no, bro? Because Zack Ryder was there. Jinder Mahal gets all mad. Yeah, it was something that happened. C-, though. That's actually not bad. For some reason, Zack Ryder's an upper mid-card in this save, which to me blows my mind. But so maybe that's why I did that good. Moving on to a jobber tag match, pretty much. Poor Slater and Rhino. They're just the team that always gets shoved into the, hey, you're going to put over this tag team this week. Solid D rating for this, as we have a bout that had subpar wrestling and little heat. The team of Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler go over Heath Slater and Rhino in 3 minutes 50 seconds, when Drew McIntyre defeats Heath Slater with the Future Shock DDT, but in real life they hit that badass zigzag Claymore combination. So get on them there. There was a fun part here where Ziggler, or it's not Ziggler, McIntyre and Slater were in the ring at the same time. You hear the crowd start chanting 3MB, and Slater goes, "Welcome back, baby!" And then they start fighting. So nice little homage there, I guess. There you go, guys. Your 3MB reunion that you've all been asking for. Rhino with a D- in-ring performance. Heath Slater with an E+. Oh, God. What have you guys done to my man Heath? E+. What are you on, 205 Live? That's horrible. Dolph Ziggler with a D+, and Drew McIntyre with a C-. There you go, Drew. Ziggler is improving in performance, and McIntyre is improving in Rumble and Technical. So there you have that. We then have a freestyle segment as we see Elias backstage playing his guitar, and a match between him and Bobby Roode is next. Before we jump into the match, though, we have Elias doing his live concert in front of New York and all that. Going to play his, the whole spiel. He's doing his old live concert and all that. He's eventually interrupted by Bobby Roode. And this was hilarious. Michael Cole says something about, like, the couth of Bobby Roode for interrupting Elias, because Michael Cole loves Bobby Roode, which, by the way, I love the fact that Michael Cole loves Bobby Roode. It reminds me of when Michael Cole would fanboy over The Miz. Some people hated it, but I loved it. It was the funniest thing ever, and I thought it was great. And I love how every time Elias is on TV, Michael Cole's like, "Oh, yes!" Like it's the best thing in the world to him. And every time someone interrupts him, like Bobby Roode, he's like, "Are you serious?" It's just so funny. And he says something about the couth, Bobby Roode, and then Corey Graves is all like, "Bobby Roode has plenty of couth," and I don't even know what the word couth means, but hearing them just say it over and over again, and I guess neither does Corey Graves, because Coach even goes, "Do you even know what couth means?" And then Corey Graves is like, "Of course I know what couth means." Get out of here. I'll never look at it. Shout out to Aito, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Aito Ray? I don't know if I pronounced that right. Yay, finally more 2 content to watch. Oh boy, I'm working on it right now. Shout out to Aito Ray, though. So, the couth of Bobby Roode as we get ready for maybe the last match between these two. I'm not entirely sure if this is the end of the feud, but nonetheless, if it is the last match between these two, they go on and have their best match yet. Solid C rating. This is actually turning out to be a good Raw so far. Solid C rating here. Poor matchup. I disagree. Bobby Roode goes over Elias in 12 minutes, 17 seconds with the glorious DDT. Of course, Corey Graves and Coachman have good chemistry. I believe we already knew that. Elias had an in-ring performance of a D+, while Bobby Roode had a C-, and it gained heat to the feud that is mostly going to be ending. Bobby Roode had an in-ring, or not an in-ring performance, excuse me. Bobby Roode is improving in performance, and Elias is improving in technical. We then have a post-match interview with Bobby Roode with Charlie Caruso, and Bobby Roode just puts his name in for the Money in the Bank, and this is what makes me believe that the feud between him and Elias is over, because he pretty much states that now that I'm done with Elias, I'm going to go on, enter the Money in the Bank and win, and it'll be glorious or something. So C- for Bobby Roode, who seems like he's getting over finally. Solid C, as not only is the triple threat match hyped up once again, but the Intercontinental Champion Seth Rollins is making his way down to the ring. And why is he making his way down to the ring? Because he's ready to issue an open challenge. Seth Rollins wants to be a fighting champion and make the Intercontinental Championship the championship on Monday Night Raw. And he wants to be a fighting champion, not a champion that just shows up once a month or whatever. And he issues his open challenge, which is accepted by Mojo Rawley. And Rawley says that it's not going to be Monday Night Rollins after tonight. It's going to be Monday Night Rawley. Not a bad promo there from Mojo Rawley. Seth Rollins also took a jab at The Miz as well. So this got a C- here. Seth Rollins came across well, and there's no negatives for Mojo, so good for him. We then jump into the impromptu Intercontinental Championship match, which, wow, solid C rating. Good for you. This is turning out to be a pretty decent Raw so far. And about that decent wrestling, but not much weighing heat. Seth Rollins goes over Mojo Rawley in 11 minutes, 46 seconds by hitting him with the stomp, not the ripcord knee, making his 4th defense of the Intercontinental Championship. Solid C rating there. And get this, Mojo Rawley and Seth Rollins have great chemistry. Who would have guessed? To be honest, though, their match on Raw was pretty good, so probably the best match Mojo's ever had, so maybe they do have great chemistry. Mojo had a D- in-ring performance. Ooh, I wonder what his performance would be if he didn't have that chemistry. Seth Rollins with a C+ in-ring performance, and it gained heat for the new Seth Rollins feud. Also, Seth Rollins mentioned that he doesn't care about Money in the Bank. He's focused on the Intercontinental Championship, which I like that in his promo. I thought that was a really, great part, showing that, I don't care about winning the Money in the Bank. Right now, my only focus is this, and really good stuff. I love that. We then get an interview with Finn Balor as he hypes up his match against Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn for the Money in the Bank. Nothing special here. He's just hyping up how he's going to win. Pretty generic promo here that gets a solid C. I'm really impressed with some of these ratings here this week. It's good stuff. Before our next match, I believe it was the Leaders of World, the tag team champions, Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy taking on Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. We got a pre-match promo, Axel and Dallas saying that they're no longer sidekicks. They're no longer, what was the word that they used? They're no longer supporting actors. That's what it was. They're no longer supporting actors now. They're not the Miz Taraj, and they don't know what to call them or something. It was a weird promo that just... I don't think it's going to work if that's what their gimmick is. If they're just going, But who knows? Maybe it will. The match itself gets a C- rating. Not too bad as... Again, what is with these ratings this time? C- rating here, and about that had subpar wrestling and little heat to it. The Leaders of Worlds go over Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel in 3 minutes, 37 seconds when Matt Hardy defeats Curtis Axel with the Tandem Kiss. That is, I believe, the name of their new finisher, which is badass. It's like a double Sister Abigail where they both, have them lean down, but instead of twisting, they both just shoot backwards and slam them face first into the canvas. I liked it. I thought it was cool. I think it's called a Tandem Kiss. That's what I heard Corey Graves call it, so that's what we're calling it. But if I hear different, I'll change the name. Nonetheless, though, we already know about Corey Graves and Jonathan Coachman. Shut up about it. Curtis Axel had an in-ring performance of a D-. Bo Dallas with an E+. Ugh! What is this, 205 Live? Matt Hardy with a C-, and Bray Wyatt with a solid C. No worker improvements, though. We then have more of the Money in the Bank hype things, whatever you call them. Natalia. Oh, I forgot to change Natty's gimmick, I think. So, let me do that. Which, yes, I still got to do all of this, by the way, too, guys. Natalia gimmick. Might as well change Titus O'Neil. I know it might be too soon, but it's better than seeing it every week. It'll affect ratings. So Natalia, Baron Corbin just hype up the fact that they want to, be in the Money in the Bank ladder matches as well. Oh, no, we have her gimmick right here. Boom. It's already done. Oh, and I got a below average. Great. Lovely. Thanks, Natalia. How do you get a below average on your family tradition gimmick, dude? Like, you're a heart. Whatever. C plus as the triple threat matchup between Reigns, Finn Balor, and Sami Zayn is next. Yes. And then the triple threat match itself. Let me try that sentence again. The triple threat match itself does a C plus rating here. So, not the best match of the night like I predicted. Braun Strowman and Kevin Owens was going to be. But still, this is a strong Raw. I'm not going to lie to you. This was a pretty good Raw. Not a lot of D's, a lot of C's this time around. C plus rating for the main event, though. Decent matchup. Finn Balor goes over Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns in 15 minutes, 10 seconds when Finn Balor goes over Sami Zayn after... What? Foreign object? What? Okay. No, he hit him, I believe, with the coup de grace, but whatever, game with the foreign object. Sure, maybe because Finn Balor's teasing a heel turn, but I'm pretty sure that would make him a heel now. We also had Jinder Mahal come out. It looked like Roman Reigns was about to win the match, hit him with the spear, and then Jinder comes out and, of course, cost him the match, which leads to Finn Balor getting the victory here tonight. So there you have it. Jinder Mahal and Roman Reigns seems like it is happening, and Finn Balor and Braun Strowman are the first two in the male's Money in the Bank ladder match, while Ember Moon is the only female in the Money in the Bank ladder match right now. Finn Balor had an in-ring performance of a solid C, Sami Zayn with a B-, and Roman Reigns with a C+. Finn Balor is also improving in performance. So we end off the show, and what did we do? I'm going to say we still lost popularity and we still don't have storylines. So, let's see. Okay, I was going to say, am I not pressing it? C+ rating. Not too bad. C+ rating for this Monday Night Raw. WWE is improving. Apparently, we still don't have interesting stories, which that's to be expected. But, hey, look at this. Our show increased our popularity in 24 regions. What the hell? Good stuff. Our first show to increase popularity. It also lost us popularity in 18 regions, but look at that. Look at that. This Monday Night Raw is a sign of good things to come for the WWE, I guess. Things aren't looking so bleak. They're getting their stars over, apparently, and slowly getting the company back over. I mean, God, Braun Strowman's killing it right now. And I mean, if I was WWE, I'd be pushing Sami Zayn. I mean, the dude is killing it too. But I'm not WWE. I'm just a guy that they hand the card to, and I'm like, oh, is this what you guys want to do? This is what we're doing. Nonetheless, not a bad Raw. Not a bad Raw at all. It'll be interesting to see how SmackDown does now. I mean, they're usually doing better than Raw in the first place, so I'd have to assume that they're going to probably do better this time around. And hell, is 205 Live going to be better? Let's not jump the gun. 205 Live is probably not going to be better. Nonetheless, though, that is going to be the end of this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, do me a favor, leave me a comment, like, and subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to share this video with your friends, your Facebooks, your Twitters, your Instagrams, all the social medias out there. And also, if you feel like you got a buddy out there who would enjoy my content, why don't you give them a look at it as well? And maybe they will. Maybe they subscribe and they join the family. It always helps the channel out, and I'm always greatly appreciating it. Speaking of family, I've got a bunch of friends, associates, call them what you like, down there below in the description box. Give them a check out. Check out people like Zach. Check out people like, the Raging Yoshi, Senor Conqueso, a lot of people on there. I've got some wrestling people as well. So, check them out. Maybe find someone else's content you like and tell them OMG sent you. That's going to be the end of this, though. I will see you guys for 205 Live and Friday Night SmackDown. And then, hopefully by then, I said it in the update video, we should be caught up by, I would say, not this upcoming week, but the week after that. So I have a feeling that once I get 205 and SmackDown done, we'll probably be behind on Monday Night Raw, which will then also most likely put me behind on SmackDown. And then I'll have those up, and then we should be able to start the next week fresh and early. Oh, look at that. Billy Gunn is retiring. Whoa, what is this? Sarah Knight, which is, I believe, the mother to Paige, has said to have been upset by recent online criticism of her physical appearance. Photos circulating last week showing that the 46-year-old has put on some weight. Well, she's retiring, so I don't think it really matters. But whatever. What do we got here? Maurice has returned. I guess that's awesome. Oh, look at that. What? Oh, wow! Ed Nordholm passed away? Oh, all the way at the bottom. No one cares about him, apparently. So, Impact's up for grabs. That's interesting. Okay. Zack Ryder says Mojo Rawley has a lot of charisma. He has a lot of upside. Well, you only like him because he's your friend. But then again, Kevin Owens says the same thing. So, maybe Mojo Rawley's the future. What do we got here? Oh, Zack Ryder wants a pay raise. Yeah, here you go. I don't care. Nonetheless, though, that is going to be the end of this. I already said my outro, so I will see you guys for 205 Live. Have a great day.